last time, after a somewhat follow-on from from 2 scores previously, ended up running a rather elaborate con inside the esteemed Silver Stag Casino in Silkshore, and it's after this that there's been quite a few somewhat brags going on about the nature of it taking on supposedly one of the most secure locations in all of Duskfall. But along the way, Lottie did make something of a new acquaintance. But all has been quiet for a week or so, and it's very much that while the week has gone on, Lottie, you arrive back at the hideout and find yourself in. As you make your way up the stairs, you hear somewhat raised voices, not angry, but certainly both trying to get a point across, of both Brolin and Gabriel.
Oh. Not open the door and just listen through it. It's if it's a good time to enter, or if I just need to wait a little bit, time for him to cool off.
Not really. There's not really any heightened emotions, but you can just hear kind of the murmured voices. You can't quite make out the words.
Gonna knock.
And the voices stop. And yes?
It's me? Is everything okay?
Oh yes, come in, Lottie. You can settle something for us.
Okay.
Kind of hear Gabriel snort.
And opening the door, you see the two of them going, and Brolin turns to you and goes, "So, honest opinion, who is the better grifter? Me, the correct answer, or Gabriel, if you're an idiot?"
Don't let his insults sway your decision.
Joker? I think if I make any decision, I'm going to be thrown out the window, so... You're both very good at it. In different ways, maybe, but... You know?
That's the most non-committal answer you could have given.
Yes.
It's
just slowly
to be
walk back. Like, stop! Don't drag me into this.
Yeah, to be fair, Brolin, you did just try to drag in a quote-unquote random bystander into personal business. You should have expected that answer. It's the answer I expected, honestly.
That landed you a score. It's fine. If you're going to remain impartial, let's ask somebody who might actually have an opinion. And he makes his way downstairs for a moment, leaving the two of you in the hideout.
You just see Gabriel shaking his head, just like, this is such a dumb argument.
What's going on? Did you have a bad day or something? Or did someone?
I don't know what sort of.
Grift him again?
I don't know what's going on with Brolin. I'm fine. You do notice that there is a sort of tension, a sort of stress that's somewhat new to Gabriel's face. Every time you've seen him in the past couple of weeks, he's just seemed a little different.
And as try to say some words. You hear two steps of footfall going up the stairs as Brolin re-enters with Katerina, who has taken out her milky lenses and takes a seat and goes, "So you're having this argument? Is that what this comes down to? Who's the best?"
Brolin's having an argument.
Well, to be honest, there's a way of settling it, and maybe, just maybe along the way, you, Gabriel, might have a little bit of fun.
Gabriel kind of motions for her to continue.
So, about 200 years ago, about 650 Imperial, two fellas had exactly the same argument as this. Feldspar and Burnsides, and they've gone down something in history of what they did, way of settling it. They started in Brightstone without a scrap of clothing on them at midday, and from there they had to grift, beg, borrow and steal to the most. Whoever earned the most would be deemed the best grifter, thief, whatever you want to call it.
So what you're suggesting is that my rather ample backside get butt naked in Brightstone.
Absolutely. That's how you start. First thing you might want to do is score yourself some clothes. And in the spirit of fair competition, each of you gets a little bit of helping hand along the way.
And what's that help?
Well, one of your crew, one of your contacts, anyone you want, take along a helping hand.
Kind of looks over at Lottie like, you're the only member here. Because it wouldn't make sense for him to look at Brolin.
It sounds a little bit weird if you ask me to just go butt naked asking for clothes.
You can keep your clothes on. It's only these two that have to start.
Oh, I wasn't going to take them off.
Nah, don't worry. Keep your dignity, love.
And are you sure you want to do this? Don't you have some kind of reputation to keep?
My reputation in Brightstone is tattered already.
Gabriel thinks for a moment. There's a high probability that... And then he pauses for a second. And he goes, you know what? I already have a plan.
I'm sure you do. Well, shall we meet tomorrow?
Oh, so we're gonna start off in the same place?
Why not?
Alright, then we should part ways for now so we can discuss plans with whoever we choose to help.
I'll see you tomorrow. May the best man win, mate. And he...
As Brolin leads, Gabriel actually follows to make sure he's out of the building first.
He makes his way down the stairs. He stops by the door, opens it, looks back up, sees you, and then walks out.
I'm also not that stupid. I'm gonna follow him to the front door and make sure he gets on a cab or something else.
Yeah. He as he reaches the end of the street, you see him make his way to the left, and just like following him to the end of the road, you see him drop down where he promptly gets on board a gondola that bobbing past.
Once I'm well sure that he's actually left, I'll head back up and rejoin Lottie.
It's and it says as you make your way back up the stairs, it's Katarina's making her way out again, and don't play him at short cons. You won't win. Think of something good.
Oh, I already have. So I go up to I go past Katarina and I go into
She's going down.
And I go into the room and I'm just like, so, you want to do this the easy way or the hard way?
Things where they are easy, but I'm not giving you my clothes.
Oh, no. So, how much have you heard about... And Gabriel pauses for a moment with a slight smirk. It was a group of assassins known as the Immortals.
Did I ever heard of them?
Up to you.
Little bit.
Well, they worked with for a short time, they worked with a noble named Iramina. Rather vicious sort. There was an altercation of some sort, and fearing for her life, she fled. Which means her mansion in White Crown is empty. However, there's no way she could have packed absolutely everything she owned in there. It's a noble's manor.
If this happened some times ago, isn't there a chance some thugs or other people thought about pillaging the house before?
Let's just say Iramina has some deep pockets and, well, has a quite vicious reputation. The Immortals were the only one in recent memory ever to cross her.
And you think going to this mansion would be safe? I mean, it's just a bet. We don't need to risk our lives on it.
Ugh. And Gabriel kind of smirks. Oh, I don't plan on risking anybody's lives. And he kind of pats you on the shoulder. That's why we're gonna check it out first. And with that, he kind of turns on his heel and begins to make his way.
It takes you a little while to cross the various districts, up through Charter Hall, through Brightstone, and across Bowmore Bridge into White Crown, where it's a very, very far removed call from where you now call home. Bright, well-maintained streets, carriages clatter by over paved roads. column-fronted buildings stand proud, overlooking the various over North Hooker Channel, and heavy use of gold trim and marble. A very, very rich and affluent neighborhood. And
Gabriel kind of walks down. He walks down specific streets, and it's very noticeable that he's probably not super familiar with the area, but he's certainly been down these streets before.
Yeah, you make your way past. There's the Kellis estate and the Lutis estate, and all manner of big grandiose family names: the Bowmores, the Clellans, the Dunvilles. All of them have homes in this region. And you arrive at it's been a long time since you've seen them, the wrought iron gates, which now are padlocked shut. But the house looks to be, in keeping with tradition of the area, the house looks to be well maintained, at least on the outside. However, you can make out from within that there's no lights on or any sign of occupancy.
Gabriel does kind of check the lock to see if it's been tampered with.
No, not at all.
He kind of gestures with his head over to Lottie to check around the gate to make sure that, we don't see any, a scrap of clothing on one of the spikes of the wrought iron, something that might indicate somebody has attempted a break-in.
To be honest, even though there's nothing there, that kind of action is going to be quite difficult in Whitecrown, given the heavy blue coat patrols, as well as the sound of horses passing by as Imperial cavalry patrol the streets as well.
Gabriel kind of smirks as he comes back up to Lottie. Empty. As far as I can tell, this place is untouched.
Okay, so do you want to go now? Or
no, I have no intentions of cheating.
Oh, yes, right, tomorrow, not today.
The idea here is we don't need a lot. We just need something that we turn for a profit, close immediately, and obviously anything else that we pocket on the side, more the merrier. However, and he kind of gestures at the passers-by, blue coats, and Imperial cavalry, we will need a distraction for that. I can take care of that.
Have in mind?
The less you know, the better.
Trust you, but don't get hurt, and please don't hurt too much people.
You see Gabriel's head kind of going back and forth. I promise I won't get hurt. Which I know is not a very comforting statement.
So, as you make your way away and back to the main street, and where the heavy footfall passes by as the affluent and well-to-do make their way about their business. Is there anything else you'd like to do while you're here?
You know, I hate doing it. But I actually do want to go... I don't necessarily want to go see Celia here. I actually want to go see a man I've probably had dealings with in the past. August. He's known as a master architect.
Okay. He holds a residence and business in Charter Hall. The building itself is obviously very, very well designed, and likely has been modified by him. And as you go in, there's a brass plaque on the side of the door that identifies from the Guild of Architects that he is a certified member.
Just to confirm, Lottie, did you come with me, or are you gonna explore your own ways to maybe try and keep Gabriel out of trouble here?
She's going to go on her own for this time.
Okay, so gathering intel, here we go. Okay, so yes, you arrive at the establishment of August, Master Architect.
Essentially, what Gabriel's wanting is to see if, while he most likely did not actually build Aramina's manor. I mean, maybe he did. That's neither here nor there necessarily.
Probably not. It's probably a really old, 100-year-old, hundreds of years old. Yeah.
However, he's probably built similar structures. Or he might even have the original blueprints.
I'm going to say on that, let me gather intel roll, and
yep, this is.
I am going to just check something because I think Charter Hall might have a bonus to gather intel. Yes, you can take a Devil's Bargain. For +1, you can take 1 heat. Which also involves going to the records, the Hall of Records as well.
We're doing really good on heat, so I mean, might as well take the heat here.
Okay, so what we'll say is that obviously that he doesn't have the blueprints because he didn't design it.
Yeah.
But because the building is old, the blueprints and the design are now public records, so they are available at the Hall of Records.
So is this still a check?
Yes, the check for all of it. So we'll cover everything in the one roll.
Okay, so
but you've got plus
one.
You've got +2. You've got +2 because you've got Weaving the Web and you've got the Devil's Bargain.
Weaving the Web is only +1 to consort.
Yeah, there's no. Like I say, we're doing it as one roll, so obviously you'll be talking to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take the +2. I just.
Yeah. I'm giving you something here. Take it.
I'll take it. Okay. Ooh boy, this is not a bad roll.
Okay, success. Success with the complication. Okay, so this is just going to fill in a clock piece of something else. Right, so making your way in, there is a large downstairs front reception lined with photographs of taken with the electroplasmic still image capture machine, all framed in various buildings that he has made or designed or renovated in a variety of styles from classical to modern.
I kind of admire each one of them before going to whatever his office would be, assuming once I'm allowed into his office.
Yeah, there's a moment where he you're studying one image of Charter Hall Bank, and a voice behind you goes, so unfortunately the columns had fallen somewhat into disrepair. Quite the undertaking, but I think we captured the spirit of the original building rather well.
You certainly do good work.
Always nice to hear it, but thank you. I met you before.
So, Gabriel kind of turns.
There's a look. Is he kind of? There's a flicker of recognition.
I'm looking for information on one of the manors in White Crown.
Well, you'll need to be a little bit more specific.
Of course. The one that was, or is, I'm assuming it's still owned, since the noble is just currently on hiatus. Iramina's manor.
Oh, yes, I remember. Yes, we did some work for her. She was quite the taskmaster. Now, let's have a look. Yes, new windows, gilded, a very, very large gilded ornate stained glass affair, and quite a bit of interior renovation as well. Some new floorboards, others that have just gotten a little bit old, but wanted only the best and didn't seem to be happy with the best when we delivered. So yes.
Unfortunately, those noble types are never happy.
So it would seem. Yes. What can I do to help?
Do you know how old the building is, out of curiosity?
I'd need to check, but going by the architecture, the design, I'd say 520 Imperials, maybe 560.
Oof, that is pretty old.
For reference, it's now 841.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a little bit of a glibness when he says, that's pretty old. Like, he's well aware that is the understatement of the year.
Yeah.
So outside of replacing windows and floorboards, you didn't do much work on it.
Well, foundations are sound. The walls are sound, all load-bearing, everything load-bearing as it should be. Little bit of plastering here and there, but nothing, only superficial damage repair, really.
Surprised she would even let... Gabriel kind of mutters, I'm surprised she let the plaster crack.
Oh, it's old methods. They don't last forever. We had to use the old artisans' techniques, none of the preferred and better finish methods, if you ask me. But still, terms and conditions apply, I suppose.
As always, I would assume there aren't any blueprints that you have available.
Not personally, but it's a publicly listed building. Everything over 250 years old is a matter for the public record. You could try the Grand Archives, or you could try the Hall of Records. I'm sure someone will be able to help you out. But we were working all the way through the house. As far as the design goes, I could let you know a few details.
Oh yes, please. Obviously, the original blueprints won't have those new design details. As for... Obviously, these line of questions always lead up with a why. I do eventually plan on building something not exactly like her manor. Might be a little bit out of my price range, but the couple of times I was in there, I was intrigued with some of the design elements, and I wanted to incorporate maybe somewhat of the basic layout into what I hope to one day be able to build.
Oh, of course. And he grabs some notepaper and begins to do a very, very rough floor plan. Like, none of it's to scale, it's very rough lines. Like, you know for a fact that the rooms don't measure up like that. He's excused a very, very brief, obviously I'm not measuring this.
Yes.
And begins to give you a design on the main atrium, which is essentially segues into the rest of the house.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And while he does that, after taking your leave and going to the Hall of Records to see for yourself, we will jump over to Lottie. Where are you? What's your...
Gonna try to find Brolin. Where did he go after this?
So you managed to track him down as far as Night Market.
Has he talked to somebody? Like really had some kind of long conversation with somebody in particular?
Make me a check.
Okay. Can I use hunt?
Yeah, to track and yeah. Success with a complication. He goes into a building, one of the older buildings, which is yet to be in that much more kind of upscale, gentrified region of Night Market, and emerges sometime later. It's about half an hour with a Taishirosi woman. It's you manage to kind of stay out of sight. She's fairly tall, but her height is emphasised by two quite elegant horns that kind of curl back onto her head and then point upwards. If Gabriel was here, probably wouldn't help but feel Brolin's adding insult with this one.
Just gonna ask around to people I see if they know her and if they know what her thing is.
There's a few people. There's a shopkeeper in the building opposite of who kind of, when you asked after who she is, gives a wry smile and goes, "Oh, you're clearly new to the district, aren't you?" I think quite a few people know who Arabella is. Yeah, she's how do I say this nicely? She's popular.
That doesn't help. I know a fair number of people that say are popular. That's not a job.
I don't think it's a job for her either. No, she's but
does
she's
she sell intel? Does she help people rebuild their house? Does she run an orphanage? It can mean a lot of things.
She's spends a lot of time on her back. Let's just say that. But yeah, she on a more serious note, she's got a network. Spiders, I think they call them. Knows people, movers and shakers. You know, there's a few less than reputable contacts and those that she has dealings with. does bits with the ghost trading occasionally, but you didn't hear that from me. Dangerous world to get involved in.
Oh, just simple curiosity. Saw a couple of times with some of people I know, and I was just wondering if.
No, she's mostly harmless. All bite, that one. All bark, even.
And after that, I think I'm gonna try. I'm not sure I could do that. It's not absolutely not my thing. But just to pass rumors that something big is going to happen. Let's say in a museum. Probably far from the manor we're going to.
So you're like deflecting attention.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna say make me another roll on that one. See how that goes.
I just need to translate. Nope.
So
Look.
let me have a look.
Use sway maybe. Can I use sway?
Sway works, yeah, absolutely. The appropriate role, in fact. Oh, very nice. Yeah. Okay.
She has. She doesn't have points in sway.
Oh. Okay.
Wait. The way did it?
So you take the lowest, unfortunately. So it's a 2. But
Or are you supposed to have points in sway?
No.
No. Okay.
No. So yeah, it's
action and consult, not in sway.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's. Were you dealing with the blue coats specifically, or?
No, Brolin specifically.
Oh, okay. It's.
Her original plan was to get his attention on that and maybe convince him to either stop Gabriel or sabotage us.
As you try and get a message to him, there is a voice from behind you as this face kind of comes over your shoulder and goes, "Why don't you stick to your own plan and stop trying to mess with ours?"
This is brilliant.
No, it's Arabella, the Taishirasi woman that he was with.
I'm not interfering, not at all. I'm mostly neutral in this. Frankly, I think they are going a little bit too far. It's, men. So they need to prove that they're the best in everything. And I thought I'd have a little fun in this myself, Just.
Why not?
Don't.
Me too.
Wouldn't you like to teach them both some kind of lesson?
Sorry,
I'm gonna ask her if she wouldn't like to teach them both a lesson, and that they are not as good. I don't think they are, and there are other people they should be worried or just look out for beside themselves.
I don't know what Brolin's plan is, but I have a little something going myself. Do you want me to cut you in?
Pleasure.
And she kind of links arms with you and goes, "Let's take a walk," and begins to make her way through Night Market.
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of Blades in the Dark, What Happens in the Dusk, part of the Domain Gaming, written and told by Wyverian and Livespark. A special thanks to you, the listener, and if you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. As always, comments are welcome. Until the next chapter, remember the first rule of a con. Offer them everything for nothing, and give them nothing for everything.